So, are you hitting the gym week after week, pushing yourself harder than ever, but when you look in the mirror, the results just aren't there? It is one of the most frustrating feelings in fitness. You're grinding through the tough workouts, you're staying consistent, you're doing your half of the job perfectly. But you might be making some critical, silent mistakes with the other, arguably more important half, your diet. The truth is, you simply can't outtrain a bad diet, especially when it comes to building muscle. The hours you spend in the gym? That's just the stimulus. The actual growth, the repair, and the real results happen when you go home and feed your body correctly. If you're not seeing the progress you expect, I guarantee the problem is in your kitchen, not under the squat rack. In this video, I'm going to reveal the 5 most common diet mistakes that are secretly killing your muscle growth and show you exactly how to fix them, starting today. By the end, you'll know exactly what to do to finally start packing on the lean muscle you've been working for. The first, and honestly, the most fundamental mistake that stalls muscle growth is not eating enough calories. It sounds almost too simple, but it's the #1 reason people spin their wheels for months, or even years, without seeing any real change. You can have the perfect workout program and be hitting your protein goals, but if you're not in a calorie surplus, you're trying to build a house without any bricks. It's physically impossible. Here's why. Building new muscle tissue, the process we call hypertrophy, is incredibly energy expensive for your body. When you lift weights, you create tiny micro tears in your muscle fibers. Repairing that damage and, more importantly, building the fibers back bigger and stronger requires a ton of energy. If you're only eating enough to maintain your weight, or worse, you're in a deficit, your body has to make a choice. It's always going to prioritize essential functions, like keeping your heart beating and your brain running over a luxury project like building bigger biceps. Your body is a survival machine. It really doesn't care about your six-pack goals if it thinks there's an energy shortage. In a calorie deficit, your body can even start breaking down existing muscle for energy, which is the exact opposite of what you want. To build even 1 pound of muscle, your body requires a significant energy surplus over time, and if that surplus isn't there, the growth just won't happen. So, how do we fix this? The answer is a small, controlled caloric surplus, often called a lean bulk. Now, I'm not talking about the old school, dirty bulk, where you just eat pizza and ice cream to get your calories in. Sure, you'll be in a surplus, but a huge chunk of the weight you gain will be body fat that you'll just have to burn off later. In fact, research confirms that being too aggressive with a calorie surplus leads mostly to fat gain, not more muscle. The sweet spot is a modest surplus of about 10 to 20% above your maintenance calories, which for most people is an extra 250 to 500 calories a day. This gives your body the energy it needs for muscle growth without a huge overflow that gets stored as fat. First, use an online TD calculator to estimate your maintenance calories. Then, just add 300 calories to that number and stick with it for a few weeks. Track your weight by taking weekly averages. If you're gaining about 0.25% to 0.5% of your body weight per week, you're in the perfect zone for lean gains. If not, just adjust your calories up or down by 100 to 200 and check again in a few weeks. It's a controlled approach that ensures the weight you're putting on is quality muscle. If calories are the energy to build the house, protein is the actual bricks and mortar. It's easily the most talked about macronutrient for muscle growth, and for good reason. Not eating enough protein is like sending a construction crew to a job site with only half the materials they need. They might be able to patch a few things up, but they can't build anything new. Here's how it works. When you lift weights, you create those micro tears in your muscles. This signals your body to kick off the repair process, known as muscle protein synthesis, or MPS. To do this, your body needs amino acids, which are the building blocks found in protein. If you don't have enough amino acids coming in from your diet, your body can't properly repair and rebuild your muscles bigger and stronger. You'll recover from your workout, but you won't actually grow. Your rate of muscle breakdown will equal or even exceed your rate of synthesis, meaning you get 0 net muscle gain. So, how much protein is actually enough? That general RDA of 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight is just the bare minimum to prevent being deficient if you're sedentary. For anyone trying to build muscle, that number is nowhere near enough. The scientific consensus is clear. For optimal muscle growth, you need between 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. A huge 2018 meta-analysis backs this up, and some newer research even hints that dedicated lifters might get a slight edge pushing that towards 2.4 grams per kilogram. Let's make that practical. For a 180-pound person, that's about 82 kilograms, you should be aiming for 131 to 180 grams of protein every single day. Most people who aren't actively tracking are falling way short of this. But it's not just about how much, it's also about the quality. A complete protein source has all 9 essential amino acids your body can't make on its own. Animal sources like whey, eggs, lean meat, and fish are all complete. Plant-based proteins can be a little trickier, but you can easily get everything you need by combining sources, like rice and beans, or by choosing complete plant proteins like soy and pea protein. The fix is to get intentional with your protein. First, calculate your target using that 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram formula. Then, make it a non-negotiable rule to have a solid source of high-quality protein with every meal. Aiming for 20 to 40 grams of protein per meal, spread out every 3 to 4 hours, is a proven strategy for keeping muscle protein synthesis fired up all day long. Protein shakes are a great tool for convenience, but remember, they're a supplement. Always prioritize whole food sources first. Hey, if this is clearing things up for you and you're having some aha moments, do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button. We're all about breaking down the real science to get you real results, and I'd love for you to stick around so you don't miss what's next. For years, carbohydrates have been the bad guy in the world of dieting. We've been told that carbs make you fat and that cutting them is the secret to getting lean. This fear has led so many people, even those trying to build muscle, to avoid carbs, which is a massive mistake that directly hurts your performance and your gains. Let's get one thing straight. Carbs don't make you fat. Eating too many calories makes you fat. Carbs are your body's #1 preferred fuel source for high-intensity activities, like weightlifting. When you eat carbs, your body stores them in your muscles as glycogen. Think of glycogen as the high-octane fuel in your tank. When you're grinding out tough sets of squats or deadlifts, your body is running on that glycogen. If you go into a workout with low glycogen stores because you've been avoiding carbs, your performance is going to tank. You'll get tired faster, you won't lift as heavy, and you won't get as many reps. This all adds up to a weaker training stimulus. And if you can't progressively overload your muscles, you're not giving them any reason to grow. On top of that, carbs also have a protein-sparing effect. When carbs are available for energy, your body spares the protein you eat to do its main job, building muscle. If you're on a low-carb diet, your body might be forced to turn that protein into fuel, meaning the precious building blocks for your muscles are getting burned for energy instead. The solution is to embrace carbs as your best friend for fueling performance. The key is just choosing the right types and timing them well. Most of your carbs should be complex, slow-digesting ones that provide steady energy. We're talking about oatmeal, brown rice, quinoa, sweet potatoes, and whole grain bread. Simple carbs, like fruit or white rice, also have their place. They digest quickly and are perfect around your workout to rapidly top off your glycogen stores and kickstart recovery. For muscle gain, a good rule of thumb is to let carbs make up around 40 to 60% of your total calories. Aim for about 3 to 5 grams of carbs per kilogram of your body weight each day. Stop fearing carbs, start fueling your workouts with them, and watch what happens to your performance. For the longest time, the fitness world was obsessed with the anabolic window, that supposed 30-minute magic window after a workout where you had to slam a protein shake or all your gains would be lost. And while science has shown that this window is much wider than we thought, that doesn't mean nutrient timing is completely useless. While total daily calories and protein are still king, smart nutrient timing is like the queen that helps optimize the whole process. Instead of a frantic 30-minute window, it's much more useful to think of a 4 to 6 hour meal window surrounding your workout. The main goal is to make sure your body has a steady supply of amino acids available before, during, and after you train. Let's start with pre-workout. Training completely fasted, especially if your last meal was many hours ago, can be a bad idea. Your performance can drop, and your body might be more likely to break down muscle for energy. A meal 1 to 3 hours before you train that has both complex carbs and some protein is perfect. The carbs top off your energy, and the protein preloads your system with amino acids, ready for repair. Then there's post-workout. No, you don't need to sprint from the gym to the kitchen, but having a meal rich in protein and carbs within a couple of hours is a smart move. The carbs start replenishing the glycogen you just burned, and the protein gives your muscles the building blocks they need right when they're most sensitive to them. But maybe the most important timing strategy is how you spread your protein out over the whole day. Research consistently shows that eating your protein across 3 to 5 meals is better for 24-hour muscle protein synthesis than cramming it into 1 or 2 giant meals. Every time you eat 20 to 40 grams of protein, you trigger a muscle-building signal. By doing this every few hours, you keep that signal going all day. Some fascinating recent research has even shown that larger protein doses, like 100 grams, can create a more sustained muscle-building response over 12 hours, giving us even more flexibility with meal frequency. The fix is to think about your nutrition on a 24-hour clock. Have a balanced meal 1 to 3 hours before you train, another solid meal within a couple of hours after, and then spread the rest of your calories and protein across 2 to 3 other meals. When you're chasing muscle, it's so easy to get tunnel vision on macros. We obsess over hitting our protein, carb, and fat numbers, but completely forget about the unsung heroes of muscle growth, micronutrients and water. Vitamins and minerals are the essential crew that makes the entire muscle-building engine run. Think of it like this: if protein and carbs are the bricks, micronutrients are the essential tools for the construction crew. Without them, the whole process grinds to a halt. For example, zinc plays a direct role in protein synthesis and supporting hormones like testosterone. Magnesium is involved in hundreds of processes, including energy production and muscle contraction. B vitamins are critical for turning the food you eat into usable energy. If you're deficient in any of these key players, you're putting a hard ceiling on your gains. And then there's water. Your muscles are about 75 to 79% water. Even being slightly dehydrated can crush your strength and endurance in a workout. It makes you feel tired sooner, meaning you can't push your muscles hard enough to trigger growth. Dehydration also messes with nutrient transport, meaning all that protein you're eating might not even get to your muscles efficiently. The common mistake here is eating the same boring bodybuilding diet every day, just chicken, rice, and broccoli on repeat. While those foods are fine, a lack of variety is a fast track to micronutrient deficiencies. You might be hitting your macros, but if your body is missing key vitamins, it just can't function at its best. The solution is simple and actually enjoyable: eat the rainbow. Instead of sticking to the same few foods, make a real effort to eat a wide variety of whole foods. Different colored fruits and veggies have different vitamin profiles. Add in leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and different types of lean protein. For hydration, don't wait until you feel thirsty. At that point, you're already dehydrated. Get in the habit of sipping water all day long. A good target is to drink enough that your urine is a pale, light yellow color. Just keep a water bottle with you. It's an all-day commitment that pays off big time in the gym. So, there you have it, the 5 quiet mistakes that could be sabotaging your muscle growth. Let's recap real quick. Number 1, not eating enough calories. Number 2, falling short on protein. 3, being afraid of carbs, your primary workout fuel. 4, not thinking about when you eat. And 5, forgetting about your micronutrients and hydration. Look, it can be a little overwhelming to realize you've been making one or even all of these mistakes. But don't get discouraged. The best part about knowing the problem is that you now have a clear solution for each one. Fitness is a journey of learning and adjusting. The important thing isn't that you made a mistake, it's that you now have the knowledge to fix it. Focus on that small calorie surplus. Make hitting your protein target a priority. Fuel your body with good carbs. Be smart about your meal timing and eat a variety of whole foods. If you can do that and keep up the hard work in the gym, you will finally start seeing the results you've been working for. Now that you know what to avoid, I want to give you the next step. If you want to see how to put all this into practice, check out the video right here on the screen where I walk you through a full day of eating for muscle growth. It shows you exactly what to eat and when. And for those of you who want to go even deeper and completely master this topic, I've created a full online course called Nutrition and Diet Planning for Fat Loss and Muscle Gain. The link to that is waiting for you in the description below. It's the ultimate guide to take your gains to the next level. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you over there.